There are two games I've been playing for most of my life. The first is The Sims, which I started playing in the year 2000, I think. I'm about 10 years old and it's when the first game came out. And then it is World of Warcraft, which I didn't pick up till 2010. It was about the end of Wrath of the Lich King, and I didn't really start playing seriously till around Cataclysm. And I kept on playing it, and I've played World of Warcraft consistently for 11 years. But as of late, it's become harder and harder to have fun. A few years ago, I tried Final Fantasy, only for a little bit. I didn't get too far, because at the time I was actually having a lot of fun in WoW, so I wanted to give it a go and just see how it was, but then WoW was my main focus and I only had time for one MMO. But now when things are really boring, I decided to try out Final Fantasy again. I am currently around level 30 in the main story quest. We're still going through A Realm Reborn, I think it's called. Do not spoil anything for me because I'm actually having really fun with the story. So no spoilers. But there's been really interesting experience to go through Final Fantasy after spending so many years playing World of Warcraft. So I took together the 5 things that most surprised me as I started playing the game. The first thing that surprised me was the job system. Now, as I've been playing World of Warcraft for years and years and years, I did the same thing I think everyone does when they start a new MMO. You Google the classes, and you try to figure out like what would fit me. Because in my experience, you make one character for one class. And if you want to play something else, you're gonna have to make a second character, and that wasn't really something I was much into. I've generally played with a main character and don't do a lot of alt running, except for maybe achievements. So when I went into it, the first thing I learned about and just blew my mind is that you just need one character. One character can be anything. So a single character can be every class in the game at the same time. Well, obviously not at the same time, but you get my drift. So it's all just based on the weapon you have. So if I have my bow, I am currently a bard. If I would change it to, I think, a book, I think I would become a conjurer or an arcanist. I don't know. Like, don't come after me. I don't know. I'm currently playing a bard. But what actually made it even more interesting is that every class has their own quest line. So you have the main quest line, you have shit ton of side quests everywhere. And then you have the class quest line. And I thought this was only for the combat classes, but no, it's actually also for crafting classes. So to become a bard, I actually had to go through the archer questline first, and it was really fun. It had sort of a satisfying story arc, and I quite enjoyed it. But I didn't expect that when I would try to take up a job, I would also get story quests. And that kind of surprised me. Not to mention like how involved the whole crafting system is. But being able to be everything on a single character is my dream. It's perfect for me. Number 2 is the housing system. We've been wanting housing system for so long, World of Warcraft. It's been a dream for years. We kinda got close to it with the garrisons, but they were done in a very Blizzard way, and they heard what we wanted and did not quite do that. I did enjoy at the time having my own plot of land in my own area, though it could be a little bit lonely. But the housing system in Final Fantasy is huge. Now, I'm in a free company that does not have a house yet. They are saving up and they'll figure out how to do it eventually. I don't know. But I've gone through some of the housing districts through my quests, and oh my gosh, like those are huge. There are so many houses. But apparently the housing market is also just vicious. which I think is so funny. Because the third thing that surprised me about this game is how nice everyone is. Because I've been playing WoW for a long time, and there is a lot of good people in WoW. And I've met some amazing people along the way, and I've been in really fun guilds full of great people. But I think all of us who have played WoW at all know our dungeon system is more than little toxic. It's a very different experience to go into a dungeon and not be told horrible things about yourself or about what you do when you make a tiny mistake. For the longest time now, I've only done dungeons with guilds if I can, because I don't like doing it with randoms. Because randoms tend to be really rough. But I'd only been playing Final Fantasy for about 2 days when one of the free company members found me and started talking to me just out of nowhere. I don't remember why we started talking. I think I maybe was asking them a question, or they were started talking to me, but either way, out of nowhere, I was sitting there just out in the wild talking to somebody. And it was really lovely, but so far I've met a community that is very open and very nice, not to mention very active. I am on Omega, which is a role-playing server here in Europe, and there is a band that shows up from time to time and plays music just because, and it's amazing. There's just so many like little moments of interaction between players that I think are lovely. Number 4 is the Chocobo. I don't know how to say the word. It is the bird, your first mount. That is just, I don't even know what to say. First of all, you name it. So I named it Katla, after my co-host, of course. You get clothing for it, which I didn't expect. You can change its color, apparently, but I think you need a house or access to a stable or something for it. And you can summon it, which is really good for me, because the time I actually got it, I was trying to get through a quest and dying continuously because I was just bad. And then I got my bird, summoned it up, and just life got so much easier. It was amazing. So that's not something I expected. There was just so many details about this one bird. Oh, and it has backspace. Just because. And this is all free, it just shows up like this. Which is really fun. That the first mount you get is actually such a huge part of your character. And number 5, the final thing on this list, is the story. So I'm still playing through the base game, which I think is called ARR, or A Realm Reborn. I was warned before I started playing that it would be slow, and a lot of people find it kind of boring, but honestly, I've been having a lot of fun. One thing I've quite enjoyed is my character is in every cinematic. This is something WoW has started doing in the past few years, but it's still rare. Like, you don't see your character often, but here, they're everywhere. Your character is always there. People are always talking directly to your character. And they take part in like cool big cinematics, and I'm fighting big bosses, and there is a mysterious story and crystals and stuff I'm trying to collect, and I have no idea what's going on, but I really like it. I've heard that the base game is the worst story-wise, and the story gets better and better, so I am in for a treat if that actually holds up. So sure, this is what I've been doing as of late. I've been playing Final Fantasy, and when I'm done recording this video, I'm gonna go play a little bit more Final Fantasy because it's fun. So what about you? Do you play Final Fantasy? Have you thought about it? If you do play Final Fantasy, have you played it for long? Did you come from WoW like me? It's like, what is your experience? So tell me down in the comments and let's talk about it. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you soon.